Newspapers, it's your girl, Rhonda M. Lawson, sending you a personal invite to the Literary Lounge. Tune in to Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the best in literary conversation. Each week, a different author will join us to talk to their most important readers, you. You can also call in to ask your own questions. So don't forget, each Wednesday at 7 p.m., join us in the lounge for Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. See you there.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Happy Merry Mondays. It's your girl, Mary J. I want you to tune in with me to Real Talk with Mary J on New Orleans Talk Network every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Then follow me to blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary J at 10 p.m. It's going to be a Merry Monday every Monday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. You've just tuned in to New Orleans Talk Network.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Rhonda M. Lawson, and I am back. And I am so excited because not only do I have two very handsome men in the studio, but I have two other doctors in the studio with me. So this is just an awesome day all the way around. Fellow actors, fellow doctors, just fellow great people. So how's everybody doing tonight?
Fine. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. So I have right next to me Mr. Teddo November. You've probably seen him in a lot of different venues. He plays in the upcoming play that's coming, and that was actually unveiled, so to speak, over in Congo Square, Le Code Noir. And then he was in my play. He played Mr. Henry in Cheating in the Next Room back in February. And he is also in another upcoming play, actually two upcoming plays in June. And he's released his first short film, Foreclosure Dead Deed. You've been a busy man.
And a soundtrack too.
Oh yes, I can't forget the Foreclosure Dead Deed soundtrack. So he not only wrote the movie and produced the movie, but he also wrote and produced the accompanying soundtrack. So this has been one busy man right here.
Yes, ma'am.
And you've been very busy yourself,
Absolutely.
Dr. Torren.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so you've been, not only you've been in NCIS, Queen Sugar, but you have decided that you're going to take this whole acting thing to a whole different plateau.
Absolutely.
So what you're doing is you're actually starting your own casting company.
Absolutely. This is very important, especially for those who trying to get to break into the industry. So I decided to just go ahead on and do that. Besides all the other things I've done, been doing this for like 13 years. So.
But why did you decide to open a casting company? This is something I don't think a lot of people think about that. They may say, "Oh, I want to be in the film industry. I'm going to make my own movie." But I've never seen somebody to say, "I'm going to start my own casting company." That's something a little different.
It's a leap of faith because you see people out here struggling. You know, most people, going to the site of my casting file and they're being submitted, but at the same time, people don't realize how they're, they kind of lose that dream and everything when they realize what it takes to get to the top. It's just not, it's just not like overnight success. It's a lot of work into it, and just to help them and give them the confidence to have that, that other strength of backbone for them to say, hey, look. Let me show you how to get there first. I know it's a lot of hard work, but let me explain to you. If you keep on pushing and grinding, you can get there.
So what's going to be different about your casting company? Because I'm sure that we won't name all the names out there, but there are other casting companies
Absolutely.
who probably make some of those same promises, but yours is going to be a bit different.
It is. It's not just about being in front of the camera, it's about being behind the camera as well. In this casting company that I'm also teaching you how to write scripts, to produce, not just doing all that. If you're a culinary artist, you know, put you out there on the forefront of, hey, look, this is a great chef. You might want to use him on right there on your project. You know, feeding the crew. And then you have hairdressers, barbers, makeup artists. So I want to put them to the forefront as well, because guess what? That's an art as well. Not everybody can cut hair or do anybody hair or put on makeup, because that's a deadly thing. And also, you know, from set designers to, you know, from this everything behind the cameras, from grips. This is to show people that, you know, you just don't have to be in front of the camera to make success. You can also be behind the camera and be successful as well. Just like for wardrobe. You know, you might come up with a different design. They might use your design within there, and you put your name out there, and you never know where it can lead from there.
That's absolutely true. I mean, there's so much more to the industry than just being in front of the camera. And I'm sure with you being on both the front of the camera and behind the camera, you've probably seen a lot of that same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you definitely have your advantages for being behind the camera as an actor, because you get to see like what they see, what the producers see. And you also know both spectrums in terms of what the producers are looking for if you acting, and vice versa. Right. So it's definitely the advantages.
Do you see a difference between somebody who, and I've only been doing acting for maybe about 2 or 3 years, but I've only been doing the background work for about a year. So I've been learning a lot about the industry, so I'm very blessed to be able to have run into the both of you, because I've learned a lot from both of you. But do you see the difference between somebody who comes in to be, let's say, background, thinking that maybe they're going to get discovered and they come in with stars in their eyes, versus somebody who kind of understands the industry a little bit more when they come into this situation?
Well, I think you have to have a plan going into any situation. So like for me, my plan was very concentrated and strategic. So when I started off, you know, background, but I had a keen sense of what I wanted, what my end goal was, and that was to produce movies. So while I was on set, I was also scouting out the DP, the camera, how the camera work, the script.
Wait, what's the DP? Everybody doesn't know what that is now.
The director of photography, that's like the main camera guy that controls the pretty much the vision of the movie.
Okay.
So yeah, so you have to go into it knowing like what you want out of it. It may not be to be the next, you know, big movie star, the next big actor. It may be to just be the next producer or writer. So you definitely have to see and experience all spectrums.
It makes sense. And would you agree with that?
I agree with them. And you know, you have that bigger picture. You know, when I went on there, I was like, okay, I'm gonna just go in here and do. It was just something to do for fun at the time. A family member, you know, introduced me back into it because, like I said, I did K-ville. I was on K-ville, and from K-ville, I kind of.
Now, K-ville was the TV show that came out a little after Katrina.
Absolutely.
Anthony Anderson was the lead in that, and some people had a problem with that TV show.
Well, a lot of people had a problem because you know, they're looking at the horrors of New Orleans. They thought people was making money off the disparity of the people, and that's why it didn't last that long for that one season. And then I kind of dropped off. I left it alone after that, just to finish pursuing my education and going from there, and then being retired military. I just wanted to just focus on other things, and that's when a family member said, man, you need to get back into this. And that's what I did. I got back into it. And the do's and don'ts of it, you know, people got to realize something. You're not going to be a Miss Wallace. You know, everybody don't know who Miss Wallace is, you know, Beast of the Wild, and she did Annie. You know, she was picked up like that as being in the right place at the right time.
Yes.
You know, so you got to look at things like that. For me, I started off as a background. From background, I went from stand-in. Stand-in, I started asking questions and making sure I was there, like he said, with the cameraman, with the producers, with the writers, and asking all those questions that needed those valuable questions, and I did not fall in love with it. And I just kept on running because I'm like, you know what? I can do this. You know what? I can do more than that, but let me try to help others to understand this is what it takes, and then I became featured. So a lot of people don't realize it takes a lot to become featured, and you got to take it other places. You can't just say, well, I'm going to just wait till this show come back and I'm going to go back on here. And that's what a lot of people fail to realize, and you got to stop complaining on set. You cannot complain if it's an overnight shoot or nothing like that, because people are there always listening.
Yes. So
they always pay attention. You always have people walking around, and they're always scouting. You could get pulled in a minute and just be like, can you say these lines? and here you go. That's there. It starts off from there.
And a number of people who are big actors now started off as background actors who just wound up getting an opportunity.
Right, that's correct. That's so correct. I got a chance to speak with Mr. Danny Glover, and I say this, and so candidly, that to sit down and speak with seasoned actors such as him and Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman didn't get his shot until he was 44 years old. A lot of people don't realize that, and it takes time. It's just like you got whatever they're offering you, don't turn it down. Do not turn it down.
Whether it's a paid role or not, because there are people, I mean, every once in a while I get across my email somebody who says, I'm putting together a short film and I need some actors, and I've seen you guys on set, so I would love it if you guys would take part in this. We can't afford to pay, but we're offering this, this, and this. And then you'll have, I think somebody came back and said, well, I'll only do it if you give me a speaking role.
Well, the experience is the best teacher, so I'm always for experience and helping others, because I believe that you have to give to get, so giving is always better than receiving.
Absolutely.
So
I agree with you.
I think Charlemagne the God had a meme up, and I actually reposted that meme on Instagram. And I won't say it word for word like he said, because he has some cuss words in it. But he basically said the biggest mistake that some people make is not recognizing opportunity because it didn't have a dollar sign attached to it.
Right. And you have to look past the dollar sign to know where your success and your value is going to come along the way. You can't knock your blessings. When you have an opportunity to meet with people, like I'm meeting this gentleman here for the first time, and I might try to pick his brain and get some ideas about what to do and what to say, because there's certain ways that you have to remember a script. There's certain exercises that you do. You don't need the thing is, and he probably agree, you don't need to go to a Juilliard. You don't need to go to UCLA, Berkeley, or anything like that to go to a acting school. No, you could get your acting coach. You could get a book and read and learn how to train yourself on how to develop auditions and different things like that. So you can definitely do that. But my advice to people is, pick up a book and read. Learn the pronunciation of words. Speak into a mirror. And then after that, get your audience, get your family member, someone that's going to support you in your dream, and go from there. And don't take your critiques. Don't put your heart on your shoulder, because they're going to be like, man, you sound like garbage. But at the same time, fix it. Understand and listen to yourself in a recorder. Fix it.
So what is your process for getting ready for a role, whether it's memorizing a script, getting into the character? Because I don't know if you had the chance to see Cheating in the Next Room, but
no.
I had to ask this young man right here to play like a 60-year-old man. And he did it. He actually pulled it off. In fact, the first time he came to rehearsal, people thought he actually was 60-some years old. He came in with a cane, and he spoke a little bit slower, and then when he got into the character, then he really started acting like a dad. So what is your process for getting into these roles?
Well, the great Ivana Chubbuck, she's a prestigious acting coach from LA. She is known for coaching Halle Berry through Monster Ball. When I first moved to California, I started training with her, and she taught me replacement strategy. So basically, that's when you replace your character with someone that's in your lived life, like your father, your grandfather. So basically, my process is to just kind of make a decision on which character I'm going to replace my character with, and just people watch, kind of study that person. So for that character, for Papa Henry, I just used my grandfather, for example. So I would constantly visit him and just watch his movements, watch his tics, his posture, and just people watch basically.
Okay. Well, I want to continue this, but we're going to take a quick break. And when we get back, I want to dive into some of the terms that you used a little earlier. We were talking about background, we talked about stand-in, we talked about featured, and then we have principals. So we want to talk about those different terms and find out what those are all about. And then we're also going to dive into some questions, because I believe there's some questions that have come through the Facebook Live. And so we want to dive into those as well. So we'll be right back. You stay right there with us. And don't forget to post your questions. We're going to make this a good topic.
Network, now on your mobile device, on your computer, in your ear, and interactive. It's new, it's innovative, and it's on your mobile device. Android.
Our listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255. The New Orleans Talk Network.
Oh man. Well, everybody, this is Big Homie here, where you can catch me out on Facebook at Henry Hey Yo You Singleton, or you can catch me on Twitter at Hey Yo You 15, babe.
Yeah, you know me, just a people person right here. I ain't got no Twitter, nothing like that, so you can look me up on Facebook at Patrick Slim Goody Jones.
It's your boy Fred. Look, you can check me out on Twitter at B Fred Jones, baby.
Yeah, this is G with G Sports, man. You catch me on Twitter, G_paid_in_full 08. Pay me the money. Money.
We're back. Talk What You Know returns on Wednesday mornings at 8 a.m. We got a brand new co-host by the name of Bob B. And hey, that's me. Also, we got some new features. We're going to be giving away, have a weekly raffle of prizes. There are multiple ways for you to win, and there's a bevy of prizes. So we need you to come on back, join us on Wednesday mornings at 8 o'clock for Talk What You Know on the New Orleans Talk Network.
Hello, my name is Teddo November, SAG-AFTRA. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana, and my favorite color is purple. Whoa, there he is. Killer Mike. How the hell's been treating you?
Yeah.
Oh, Mr. Blake.
What's up, man?
Chillin', you still in there?
Yeah, hey, I got something for you.
I would hope so. This early in the morning.
Remember that situation we had last week?
You mean with
Yeah, situations happen. You should turn it over to God. But when dealing with fools like...
Nah.
But when dealing with imbeciles...
I got this.
Say for yourself, Mr. Burns.
Well, I think those scientists should conduct another scientific study.
Why would you say that?
Because it only took one day. Just one day for me to get addicted to those Wazam wings. Do you think they'll give me free wings for breaking the record?
How about you break a record and come home in time for dinner?
There you go with all that spiritual voodoo shit.
Say, man, you cut me a little closer.
You ain't gonna say it no more.
You scared already?
Double, right? Let me get a triple.
Sure about that?
Yeah.
Alright, triple coming up.
Smell it?
Come on, man. Let's go, man.
All right, Mike.
Yeah.
Coming out my head, rhino. Nigga, you know I'm on some devil shit. Pussy nigga tryna be on clever shit. That's cleverness. That's what it is. And I ain't tripping, my man, that's what it is. Handle biz, running biz, give you biz. But you already know when it do a shit stick on a dipstick. All shit, I stand when I shit. My y'all all pissed. Get money, that's it. No time for the bullshit. I'm on some straight hood shit. But you a shit stick on a dipstick. All shit, I stand when I shit. My y'all all pissed. Get money, that's it. No time for the bullshit. I'm on some straight hood shit. But you. Now you know.
Solution.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So, what that was your actor's reel.
Something like that, yeah.
So what it goes to show is that you have a kind of a breadth of work. It's not all the same actor.
Right, yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, so I guess that kind of goes back to what we were talking about before about replacement. You know, replacing the character with somebody you knew. Who you know in that last one, though?
Well, that was inspired by the movie In Too Deep.
Yeah, I know, with LL Cool J. I remember that movie. That movie came on, I think, last week.
It did? Oh, wow. Good timing. It's all about timing. Yeah, but a lot of people didn't know, like when I premiered it, a lot of people, it was surprised me that they didn't know, they wasn't aware of the history of the scene.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that scene. It's a very.
So did I get a good? Did I do a good job?
Yeah, you did that. Yeah, you did that. LL. So let's talk about this. We just showed your actor's reel. So my question then is, and either of you can answer this. In fact, I like both of you to. When do we know when it's time to make an actor's reel?
The time you never know. You never gonna know the time. It can just happen at any moment that you know once you have that reel out there. Like for me on Queen Sugar, you know I have my reel being a Mason and doing everything else that I'm on there. But you never know when you're gonna have that. But it's always good to have one. If you're in a request it. If you know you don't have lines. If you know you haven't had lines or you have a little look, I don't care how big the part is. Always ask for that reel, and you can clip it piece by piece by piece because that's the time an agent's gonna want to see it. So you have that just like he just showed, just like Teddo just showed you what he had, and it went from scene to scene to scene of everything he had, and it was well put together. And that's what you want. You want something that's well put together that you can go ahead on and give it to that, to that agent, because you never know. Because once they shop you around, it's the breaks from there.
But now, what about a person who says, "Well, I've only done background. I didn't have any lines. I mean, why should I put together an actor's reel?"
Well, acting is movement too. When you move and you acting, I mean, through body language. That's why it's so important to pay attention to the way you sit, your posture. You know how you move. You moving slow. You moving fast. So definitely, acting is more than just being verbal.
That's very true.
And it is. It's about following directions too. Right. So if a director or AD tells you, I need you over here to make this cross, just like he said, it's the movement. It's just not about speaking. It's very important. Direction is very important. If you can follow direction and see you can do it really well, everyday life is acting. Every day is like, because every day you can be phoning to a friend, laughing, grinning in their face. We do it every day. Yeah. And then you walk back. Yeah, so basically, just like he says, this placement, you're just changing, your environment. But if they tell you, look, I need you to cross over here, I need you to act this way, just like he was changing in the different scenes. That's all you're doing.
Now, we talked a little bit earlier. I wanted to go back to those terms that you used. We had the background, we had stand-in, we had, what else did we have? Featured. So what are the different terms, and what are we looking for when we're going on something like a My Casting File, or with the First Vision, and we're trying to figure out, all right, how do we do this, or what am I actually applying for?
Well, what you're doing, you're looking for what the description of it is. You're looking for the description what you're going to be doing. You might be a guest at a wedding, that's background, or you might say featured. We're looking for a feature, but it's director's pick. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for director's pick. That's featured. So in the principal role, As this gentleman, you know, showed elegantly, principal role is basically you're the main character. You're the main person that they're gonna be focusing on. But at the feature role, you can be right there with him, not even say anything, but it's being featured. Or they might give you one line, you might say what? That's all you have to say.
But that one line, every time they show that, you're getting a royalty.
Absolutely.
And that's important, like you said, the education, like, because you have to know what you're applying for. Like, it's just like a job. So it's good that you ask that question, because you want to know the prerequisites to that goal and to that, you know, that job or that role. Because if you don't fit the description, then you just submit. Like some agents, they just submit they talents to you know, different roles, but they may not fit the description. So it's important to know the description and the prerequisites for whatever you're applying for, so that way you can be on mark with your.
And it's interesting you say that. I've heard some background actors say that they didn't care what they were asking for; they were going to apply for it. I mean, they might have been asked for white male. I'm gonna apply for it anyway. They might want me. They might decide to use a black male, or they'll say, okay, I know they said a 20-something. I can play a 20-something-year-old, and they'll go ahead and submit for it. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
Well, I think it could hurt your brand, because it's like it shows that, like you said, you're not following directions. You're not paying attention to what's being asked for. So you have to be linear in terms of, you know, with, you know, the character and what fits your description. And a lot of times, sometimes that may cause you not to get the role, because you may populate the database for the casting director, and then they may feel you spam because you're always just constantly submitting.
That makes a lot of sense.
Right. And then that's when they're going to blackball you.
Right.
Yeah, that's when you get blackballed. A lot of people know blackball. I mean, they're not going to call you for nothing. They'll be like, you know what? No, this person is too needy.
Right.
So we're not going to use them. Right. But the best thing for you to do, like when you're on my casting file now, and I tell people, don't just look at the free stuff. If you really want it, do the pay side, do the pro side, and you can add more pictures of yourself. Don't, you know, put pictures of you in a tuxedo or in a gown. Put pictures of you or what you used to do. Like for me, if you go on my pro page, you're going to see military, or you'll see I'm in a tuxedo, or you'll see me dressed as a farmer, or you'll see me dressed as whatever they need. Make sure you're ready.
So I'm not supposed to put all the pictures of all my glamour selfie shots on there?
Negative.
I mean, not all the pictures are just when I'm looking cute?
No. Look at when you're looking rough, too. They might use you for a crackhead. Yeah. But at the same time, show that you're versatile. And everything that you've seen him do, he was very versatile. So that's what casting directors looking for. If you're paying attention to direction, they're looking at the fact of you being versatile. They're looking at, you know, especially your photo. It's like you don't mind being bald head shaven or whatever. You're not gonna cry, but they're about to cut my braids. No, they're looking for you. And you can also take your weave out. They don't care, as long as you're versatile for them. You know.
But I'm not scared to take my wig off. I'm not gonna take it off here on TV or anything. But I mean, I like my hair. I just like to change it up, and I don't want to get a relaxer. So this is what I'm gonna do.
But I was gonna add to say in regards to the reel, it's good to have clips too. Because for instance, when I played the barber, it's good to just have that barber scene clip. So that way, if my agent has a barber role, he can just submit that clip. And so it's good to break your reel down too and have those individual clips, because the casting director, the director may not have time to look at the entire clip, but they just want to see you as a barber. So it's good to kind of break those clips down.
If I have theater experience, should I put clips of my theater roles as well?
Yes, that's important, because they want to know that you've been in front of people. They're gonna want to know that you have that experience of speaking, and you know how to change if need be. You know, change that character in the drop of a dime. So just like he said, you want to be an old man, you can be an old man. If you want to be a young person, you can be a young person. Whatever it is. Or as in your case, if you want to be a drill sergeant, they'll put it out there. So yeah, it's very
well, I would kind of say like categorize it. Like you can have an acting reel, you can have a theater reel, a film reel, you can have a performance reel. So it's like you have a reel where you performing live music, you have a reel where you acting, you have a reel where you doing theater. So
as well as also voiceovers.
Yeah, voiceover reel as well.
You can also do voiceovers.
I like voiceovers. I'd like to get into voiceover work. I have a very distinct voice. I'm just throwing that out there in case anybody's watching and you hear my voice, call me. Okay. But anyways. All right, so back to the acting reel then. Is this something I can do myself, or should I pay somebody to put something like that together for me?
I'm gonna let you answer that one. I'm gonna let you answer that one.
Well, I say you get out what you put in. So quality is definitely important. So I mean, I would say hire a professional because you don't want to do everything yourself. You know, and sometimes when you're looking at your own work, you don't see the nuances of like different glitches that you it's like editing a book. Like if I write it, I may not see it. I give it to you, you may see the error. So it's good to have a second eye on your work.
It makes very much sense.
Yeah.
All right, so it's time to take another break. I see we have some comments coming in too. What does that comment say? I can't see. Anybody have good eyes?
I can't even see that one. That comment.
Okay, well, what's it say down here? Crackhead. Okay, we will not be playing crackheads tonight.
Yeah, catch me in something else.
Yes. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. Please go ahead and post those questions. If you'd like to call in, the phone number is 504-341-8255. We're looking forward to hearing from you. And Mr. Ted, or Dr. Teddo, and Dr. Tori will be here to answer your questions. We'll be right back. And Shakers, it's your girl, Rhonda M. Lawson, sending you a personal invite to the Literary Lounge. Tune in to Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions each Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for the best in literary conversation. Each week, a different author will join us to talk to their most important readers, you. You can also call in to ask your own questions. So don't forget, each Wednesday at 7 p.m., join us in the lounge for Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. See you there.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Happy Merry Mondays. It's your girl, Mary J. I want you to tune in with me to Real Talk with Mary J on New Orleans Talk Network every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Then follow me to blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary J at 10 p.m. It's going to be a Merry Monday every Monday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. You've just tuned in to New Orleans Talk Network.
New Orleans Talk Network, now on your mobile device, on your computer, in your ear, and interactive. It's new, it's innovative, and it's on your mobile device. Android, iPhone, iPad, and on your computer. Okay, because wherever you go. Because we're interactive. 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on the Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
Hi, I'm Evangelist Melanie.
This is what I'm telling you. There will be trials and tribulations, but don't give up. He will see you through. Just call his name. I know you're tired of the hardships and pains, but don't give up. This is what I'm telling you. You know that God believes in you. This is what I'm telling you. You know that God is trusting you. You gotta fight through, just call his name. He will answer you, don't be ashamed. So shed your pride, cause you're the one. Don't act like you are the only one who's going through. He'll take care of you. He'll take care of you.
Okay, so we were just talking about being versatile. So we saw that Actor's Reel, and then this very beautiful gospel song that you created. So where'd you get the inspiration for this song?
Well, I've always been a gospel fan. As a little child growing up, my mom always used to listen to gospel music while she was cleaning up, so I had a love for it, you know, initially. So yeah, it's just always been in me.
And this is included on your Foreclosure Dead Deed soundtrack?
Yeah. This is track 7 on the soundtrack, and you can get it now on iTunes, Amazon, anywhere music is. You can download it or purchase it.
Okay, so that's not the only thing that we can find on Amazon. What else can we find on Amazon?
Oh yeah, we also have the movie. You could stream the movie. Is now streaming. I just inked a distribution deal with Amazon. So, so we're working on that Prime Original coming next.
So the book is available for purchase, or excuse me, I keep saying the book.
Next,
I'm an author.
Don't let the head out the bag.
I'm an author. You know, I say book. But the movie is available for purchase as well as rent on Amazon.com. And all you have to do is just type in Foreclosure Dead Deed, and it will come right up. You'll get the soundtrack as well as the movie. So I did get a chance to watch the short film.
Oh,
and I know you didn't think I saw it. I actually did see it. I saw it twice.
Thank you. So what did you think about it?
I was like, wow. I mean, I was actually amazed. I mean, how you were able to bring all these people in to just believe in your project. And the storyline, it was like, I was like, wow, this is something that can really happen. Actually, a lot of people may not realize that one of my last books, Some Wounds Never Heal, my character went through something similar where somebody was messing around with his bank account. He actually had money, still had a job, but somebody was playing with his bank account and his cards got canceled. And he didn't want to tell his fiance because he didn't want her to worry. He figured she was under enough stress and he was going to handle it himself. And so your character, Mike, reminded me of my character, Jamar. And what people actually go through when they're in that situation. We don't always want to tell people when we're in that type of financial situation.
Right. And it's very important to have a relatable story. So, you know, it don't surprise me that your character was similar, because I like to create to where you can, you know, the audience could kind of relate and also, you know, see what I see, you know, in everyday life. So.
Exactly. And I think that's always good. I think whether it's a movie, whether it's a book, or even a song, when somebody can actually relate to what's going on in that story, it just takes an entirely different turn. So congratulations on that. I mean, I like that.
Thank you.
Now, I did have a question for you, Dr. Torren. This came from Laurencia, Ms. Peaches Sinnott Freeman. Okay. I hope I said your name right, girl. I'm really sorry if I didn't. But the question is, Dr. Torren, how old do you suggest kids start? And she wants to know if your scouting company caters to kids. She's asking for a 9- and a 10-year-old who are actively involved in theater.
Man, they can start off early as an infant. And yes, matter of fact, we do. Part of First Vision casting, we have a a segment called Kids Vision, and Kids Vision is based on for children, where parents can go there and we teach them basically. I have an acting coach that comes in and basically teach them the necessity to make it through, and also explain to parents. Because most parents, when parents get on the set, they're like, oh my God, they're looking at watches. I didn't realize this is going to be long. We got to explain to them, hey, look, this is a job. No telling you, because even though we got laws, we got child laws. You know, a child going to probably be on the set maybe about 6 hours or less. Depends. Like during the summertime, they could be on there at least about 6-7 hours. But they got to go. They can't go past those hours because you get shut down. Productions can get shut down for breaking those laws. But yes, I'm definitely gonna be scouting for children, and they can go all the way from infants all the way up to the age of 18. You know, it doesn't stop. It go way beyond. If most people pay attention to productions of seeing infants and babies, so yeah.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing that I would say is just be prepared, because like you said, it is long hours. I remember my daughter went on the set, and it went very late. I think I dropped her off around noon, maybe 12:30, and she didn't come home until about 3:30. And then my mother was like, "We need to just go get her." Mom, we can't go get her. No, this is ridiculous. It's after 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, why can't we go get her? Mama, she's on the set. She's working. Right. We can't just pull her off the set.
And you can't. I mean, especially between the ages of 17 and 18, where they're not gonna break any laws.
Right.
So you're able to stay past those hours. You know, I remember being on one show. I'm not gonna call the show name. I was on set for 17 hours. You know, you being in those roles and you having those roles, and especially somebody, and it will irritate you. And people, listen to this: if you're going on set and they're saying cut, and they're doing it for the 50th or 60th time, they're gonna run the same thing over and over and over, until they get it right.
You cannot lose your energy, and I don't care how tired you are. When they say background or action or what have you, you've got to act like this was your first set or your first take.
That's why you got coffee. That's why I think I'm a proficient coffee drinker now.
Laurencia wants to know how she can get information on Kids Vision.
Kids Vision, you can go to First Vision Casting. You go to www.firstvisiontalentandcasting.com. That's again firstvisiontalentandcasting.com. And all the information is there. All you have to do is submit any things that you have. Just submit it, and I'll get to it, and I'll return your phone call, or my assistant will return your phone call.
He has an assistant, y'all. He's big time. I need to get an assistant. And your assistant got a friend.
There you go.
I'm just saying, you know, act like your girlfriend got a friend.
Hey, you know, hey, yeah. But it's I tell anyone, and when you with your children, support your children, because it could be long hours. You know, it could be tedious. Queen Sugar, for instance, I'm gonna give y'all an example. Blue, the little guy that plays Blue, he got a teacher on set. So if you get in case your child get picked up for those roles, be prepared to travel. Don't complain about, well, I can't. No, you wanted it, you asked for it, now you got it. So here it is. Your child is living a dream. Maybe, you know, that's a dream that you wanted, but you can also live it through your child by making sure that your child is on set on time, that your child is being educated properly, from your child getting the proper sleep to the proper, you know, eating. This young man, matter of fact, he went vegan. He's vegan.
Wow.
Yeah, he is vegan. And
what is he, like 8?
He's about 9 now. He is 9. He's vegan. And the cool thing about it, he even got his parents to go vegan. They're very supportive. So yeah, exercising and eating correctly to be on a set is very important.
That's a very good point. And I think that when you prepare your child to go into this life, basically, because it's basically a lifestyle.
Yeah.
But when they go in with their eyes open and they know what to expect, I believe that you have less tragedy stories of child actors who went bad when they grew up.
Parents have to, what they got to understand too, when you're dealing with, you know, with a child actor, is that you have to be involved in their life. Everything needs to be positive. It's a positive mindset. Okay, the money gonna start coming in, but don't let that, deter you from what that child needs to do, because the checks, the bank's gonna be getting fat. You just need to pay attention to what that child is getting into. You gotta pay attention to the behavior and everything. Now, if you see something that's not correct with them, pull them back.
Yes.
Say, you know what? Let's rest for a minute. You're moving too fast. You're growing up too fast. Pull them back. A lot of child stars have fallen to being a victim, such as Gary Coleman. Gary Coleman divorced his family, divorced his parents. There's a lot of horror stories out there from, and I hate to say this and I'm being on here, from committing suicide to drug addicts. And there's the good part of being in this industry, and there's the horror parts of being in this industry, especially at a young age. And so you always have to make sure you got hands on that. Remember, that's your child. It's just not a bank. Your child is not a bank, because just as you got it, it's the same way you can lose it.
Yeah. Well, one thing I also want to point out when it comes to child actors is that parents need to remember that the child is not always going to be talked to as a little child.
Absolutely.
If the director is frustrated, if the scene isn't going right, they're not always going to edit themselves.
Right.
I mean, that doesn't mean that they need to spell out an onslaught of curse words. And because I've heard of people who had rented out basically their area and for a set or for a filming, and the crew was just cursing and saying all kinds of things, and that person said, this is going to stop, or else I'll shut this down. I don't care about the money.
Right.
So that's one thing. But when the director is yelling at people, telling them they need to get it right, this and that and the other, they're not always going to remember that this little child is a little child. That child's still an actor. So parents may see their child getting yelled at or what have you. They just need to know that this is a part of the industry.
And it is. And that being a part of the industry, and I think for me, being around children in different shows, such as Hush, being in that show and seeing teenagers, and I've seen parents just pull their kids off they didn't care. Just pull them off and say, you know what, they're done. And sometimes that's why people wonder why the show didn't come back on. Why they had children on? That's the reason why. Sometimes you can't wear your heart on your sleeve, especially with that. You got to swallow your pride and go from there. It's a certain way that you speak to them in a certain way, but at the same time they forget these are children. Yes. And so that's why I'm stressing that out to your viewers now. Make sure this is what you want for your child, because it can be tedious, it can be long, and it can be frustrating at times.
Okay. Anything you want to add to that, Teddo?
No, I don't do the kids. I can't afford the insurance.
There it is.
I actually had a kid actor for my movie, but it was a flashback. And just to have that kid on set, because my production was a SAG-AFTRA new media production, so we had to have all our paperwork and permits. And just to have that kid on set cost me over 10 grand. So yeah, so it's expensive.
Now, speaking of SAG, there are a lot of questions about SAG, and I know both of you can answer these questions.
Yes.
So, background actors or new actors, doesn't even have to be background actors. When is the appropriate time to join SAG? And then do you want to rush to join SAG? Because what happens after SAG? Okay, now I'm a member of SAG, I'm in there, I'm protected, but is this really what I want?
I'm gonna let him do it, because he might, there's different parts of this.
Well, for me, it's about, again, what you want as an actor, because like I said, it goes back to understanding the prerequisites. So if you look at certain productions, they may call for you to have that credential. So if you want to work on certain productions, you have to have that credential. You have to understand what it takes to become SAG. A lot of people, they have mixed reviews and mixed emotions about SAG. But for me, I'm a credential guy, so I like my credentials. So I said go for it.
Absolutely. I'm SAG. SAG is based, as soon as I started reading my lines, as soon as I started spitting out my words out my mouth, and after that scene, I started calling my agent, hey, it's done. Go and submit. But the scary part about being SAG as well, especially here in Louisiana, most of these castings, they don't want to deal with SAG because they know they're going to have to pay us.
Right.
And that's the thing. So the best thing, sometimes they don't want you to put SAG on there, because if you notice that they don't ask you to, well, you SAG, and if you got an agent, no. So if you plan on continue doing background work until you're about 80 years old, and not looking forward to nothing, I wouldn't tell you to do SAG. You know, keep it off. But if you plan on, like he said, the requirements and from certain things, you want to be SAG. There's different things for commercials. If you notice that if you go into my casting files of commercials out there, there'll be SAG. It'll say SAG. You know, there's different things you can do.
And then sometimes it's a financial strain for people because a lot of times you'll get people, different actors and actresses say that they SAG eligible, but they don't have the $3,000 to get the credential.
Right. So this isn't something you can just go join. There's a fee attached to this.
Right. Because you first have to become eligible, and then you have to pay your fees and your initiation fee. Like for me, my initiation fee was $3,200. I did the national membership. So, and then you pay like $200 every 6 months for your your annual dues.
And that's the same for me. That's the same thing for me. And you got to keep them up. You definitely got to keep it up.
Right. Now, you mentioned SAG eligible. How does a person become eligible?
Just doing lines. If they can give you, 2 lines, and that'll make you eligible.
But it have to be a SAG production too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so you may have lines, but if it's not a SAG production, then you're not eligible.
Yeah, no.
Okay, see, that's good information. So I hope you all heard that. So now hopefully you understand a little bit better how this SAG affiliation works.
Yeah, absolutely. With SAG, but like he's saying, SAG, and if you do it at national, and I know he'll probably agree with me, it's best to do it that way. Don't just stay local.
Correct.
You know, if you do it local, what's good at because there's nothing being produced here, and you go into L.A., New York, or anything,
anyway.
Yeah, you're gonna still have to pay. So why not just do the whole thing if you're able to?
Makes sense. Makes sense. Okay, so now we only have about 5 minutes left in the show, and we've had some good questions that have come up for both of you guys. Let's talk about what's in the future for you. We can start with you, Dr. Teddo.
What's in the future for me? More stage plays, more
what are the
music.
stage plays you have coming up?
All the Way with Southern Rep, Licole Noir with Tommy Myrick, Wounded Spirits with Kelly Playwright, Cheating in the Next Room with Rhonda Lawson, and we'll be rolling out my stage play, Dead Deed.
Yes!
Also the book, which you working with me on that. The Literary Queen, gotta go through you. And then I got a feature that I'm trying to get done with Prime Originals, which is an Amazon company. They're kind of trying to do like the Netflix originals, so we're trying to work on that. Which it's called Church the Movie, and then my EP, which is Late But Great. And then hopefully I can get to my gospel album.
So it sounds like you don't have a whole lot of free time in 2018.
No, it's
probably going into 2019.
It's all about the work, you know. You gotta be careful what you ask for. So I'm battle tested. I've been training and prepping for this moment, so I'm ready.
And how long have you been in the industry? How long have you been acting?
I would say officially 2012.
Wow, so you've done a lot. You took this and you just ran with it.
It's like I said, it's all about the training. For the bulk of my career, I'm really just getting started because I spent about 4 years just training and learning, and like doing the background work, doing the acting classes and traveling and the workshops, and just equipping myself to be successful.
Awesome, awesome! Congratulations on everything.
Thank you.
Now, what about you, Dr. Torren?
Well, I just did an audition for one of the new Marvel comics. Justice League, got a part on that.
Awesome.
I'm also working on 3 projects. I got 2 documentaries that I want. One of the documentaries called "Does Love Really Exist?" The second documentary is for basically it's called basically it's about veterans. It's dealing with what's going on in the community of the military at this point. And the other one's a reality show based on the life of people, everyday people. And then I have some other projects that's being done here. I'm on Queen Sugar, which we wrap up late July, August. I'm on there as well. So there's some other things that are in place. And besides this company, I'm working on, matter of fact, and y'all keep your fingers crossed, on Gambit. Working on that with, I'm not going to mention the celebrity name because I'm not supposed to, but Gambit, the production, and also let y'all know who are horror buffs. The Purge is going to be filmed here in New Orleans. I'm working on getting that and those contracts right now under my belt.
Yes.
So I'm going to be doing a lot of things, and also be working with this fine young lady on some things as well. And just doing a lot of things out there, and also in the community, working with the kids and doing some small production. And hopefully, be working with this gentleman on doing some things pretty soon. So looking at a lot of things in the future. So 2018, 2019, and also 2020 is going to be some busy years.
Well, congratulations to you both. I mean, because the movie industry, you know, it came to New Orleans and it kind of left for a bit, but now it's coming back. And you both have taken a chunk out of that. You're taking opportunities and you're running with them. And you're not just running with them, but you're providing opportunities for other up-and-coming actors. So, I mean, I think it's wonderful, and I think that's what this community should be all about.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, congratulations to you both. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for
this
that.
was a great interview, and we had some great interaction. It looks like people are still commenting. Christine Penn says hello.
Hi. Oh, before we go, check me out. Have and Have Nots. So I will be on there. I got a role on there. Check me out. You might not like me after this, but check me out on Have and Have Nots. I'm looking forward to it. So make sure y'all check me out, man. As a matter of fact, hopefully I'll be back on the show with Dr. Lawson, and we do what we do.
Well, all right. Well, that is it. I just want to give you a couple of quick announcements. If you do need promotional assistance with your books, movies, plays, what have you, make sure you contact me, Dr. Rhonda M. Lawson, who is the hostess of Horizons with Meet the World Image Solutions. But I am also a big advocate of helping people to realize their literary dreams. So if you're looking for a ghostwriter, an editor, or if you just want somebody to help you to promote your book, then let's have a talk. And you see my social media information right here. And I have a big webinar series coming up. It's called the Do It Right Fab 5 Fiction Boot Camp. And we're going to be doing 5 different, I know it looks like 6 up there, but we're going to be doing 5 different tips each week on how you can improve your writing. That's going to be character development. We're going to be talking about sentence structure, saving money on editing, plot development, and then also finding your story inspiration. So we're going to take all of that. It's going to help you to become a better writer, because it's great to promote your book and get it into hands. But if you want that loyal fan base who's going to keep reading your work, this is what you need to do. So join this boot camp. The classes are only $25, but if you join all 5 classes, you actually get $25 off. So it's actually $100 for 5 different classes. So for more information, make sure you go to the Meet the World Image Solutions Facebook page. So that's all we have for this week. Thanks once again to Dr. Torren Hubert and Dr. Teddo November. And we will see you next week. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great night and great week.